Hey everyone. So in this video, I'm going to go over my experience that opened up my eyes to the reality of the UFO phenomenon and the experiencer phenomenon. When I say experiencer phenomenon, I mean what follows after a sighting for some people. So it all started in 2019. I've been into the whole UFO phenomenon for probably over 20 years since I was a kid. Probably seen every documentary, probably watched every video, every lecture on YouTube, you name it, I've probably seen it. And I always was fascinated by it. Well, I never had an experience up until 2019. And I started watching some lectures by Dr. Stephen Greer. A lot of people, have their own issues with them. I do too in some ways. I don't agree with, him charging, the type of money he charges to take people out on CE5 expeditions. Um, but I will say this. I thought he was full of shit at first. Like I thought he was out of his mind. High on himself basically. Like one of those people that likes to hear himself talk. And I still do think that to some degree. But what he says about CE5 and initiating contact with NHI is 100% real. It does work. So in 2019, I started listening to some of his lectures and I started practicing meditation. Well, I was meditating about 15 minutes a day, couple days a week for about 2 months. And I started using something called binaural beats. It's when you use headphones and it plays a sound at one frequency in one ear and then another frequency in the other ear. And then it gets your brain into different brain states, like alpha, theta, and beta. Anyways, I started doing that. I would close my eyes, I would listen to a binaural beat, and I would basically just close my eyes and just let my mind just wander. Whatever came to mind, I would let pass. I wouldn't judge it. I would just let all thoughts run wild. A lot of people try to like focus on, try to block stuff out. That's not what you want to do. You just want to let your mind wander. Anyways, started doing that and I noticed it was having a positive impact on my life. I started reflecting on a lot of my mistakes and I was getting to know myself as a person better. Anyway, so about 2 months after this, after I started, meditating, I was in my room and I was doing a meditation session and I was trying to initiate contact. I wanted to see something, I wanted to experience something. Well, about 5, 10 minutes into my meditation, I suddenly get the urge to look outside. I can't explain it, but I'll get to that later. I had the urge to look outside. I look outside, and what do I see? Over my house is probably the brightest object you can imagine. It didn't seem like it was very high. It must have been, I don't think it was more than 300 feet above my house, just sitting there. And I believe whatever it was basically told me to look outside. Maybe the thought wasn't even my own, but I think that's what explains the urge. So I look outside, and but then I had the bright idea to point my laser pen at it. Well, I did that. It didn't like that. The moment that laser touched this bright object, it lit up the entire sky. It was nighttime, about 10 p.m., I'd say. It was dark. And if you were outside, if you were in my town, I imagine you probably would have seen this flash for miles. It just flashed. And as soon as the flash dissipated, the object was gone. But I was ecstatic. I was like, oh my God, it really works. I just seen a UFO and it told me to look outside. So I'm freaking out. I'm super excited. Anyways, I decide to, start getting ready to go to bed. And I go ahead and start doing a little bit of meditation again before I go to sleep. And it was just kind of my routine. I would always do my meditations right around bedtime. It would help me fall asleep sometimes. And as soon about 5 minutes into it, no, this is about 2 hours after the sighting. I start dozing off, and all of a sudden, I start hearing a whooshing sound in my ear, like whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. I open my eyes, and then I see a red ring of light. At that moment, I realized I was paralyzed. I could not move my feet, my arms, my toes, nothing. I couldn't speak, I couldn't scream. It was a red ring of light about the size of a basketball, about the diameter of a basketball. And all I could do was move my eyes. In that moment, I felt the most intense fear I'd ever felt in my life. The kind of fear you feel as a child, when you're in the dark and you're scared of the boogeyman and stuff like that. It it was it was deep, deep fear. Anyways, um, I think this is just my observation. I think whatever came was over my house when I pointed my laser pin and it took off. I don't think it liked that, and I think it came back, and I think it wanted to check me out, kind of get a good look at me. Anyway, so this red ring of light is on my wall. It lasted for about 20 seconds, and during that 20 seconds, the whooshing stopped, and then I started hearing a ringing in my ears, and it got higher and higher and higher pitched. And then the ring gradually shrunk to a dot. And when it got to a dot, it just disappeared. It faded away. The ringing stopped. I was wide awake, and the paralysis was over just like that, like instantly. Like, so I'm laying on my side. I'm looking, and I see this ring of light on my wall. I'm freaking out. I'm just trying to move. I'm trying to speak. I'm trying to scream for help. Nothing. And anyways, as so once it shrunk to a dot and disappeared, it was over, and I literally jumped out of bed like, what the fuck? And it scared me. It was I still can't explain the fear. It was like I felt like I was being scanned, by the way. I want to add that. Um, but anyways, walked out into the living room and I'm pacing back and forth. I started crying, like I cried, and I literally got on my knees and started praying to God to just to forgive me for if I was doing something I wasn't supposed to do. I just wanted that fear, that feeling to go away. And I'm not the praying type. I've never been into church. Um, I mean, I've been to church. My family used to drag me, but it was never my cup of tea. Anyways, that freaked me out. I stopped doing the meditation and I took a break from the whole UFO subject. I didn't watch anything on UFOs. I wasn't paying attention to any third phase of moon videos about sightings. I wanted nothing to do with it. So about 3.5 years go by, and I start getting the itch again. I'm like, I can't stop thinking about that experience. And so I start meditating again. I start, going outside and looking for, to see whatever might happen in the sky. Well, May 2nd, 2023, I got it documented. I actually have a video of this on my YouTube channel that you're on right now. And I shine my laser into a area of the sky, and then a light starts flashing. Now, could it have been a plane? Maybe. I don't think it was. That's just my personal feeling. Because that was May 2nd, 2023. That whole month of May, I was seeing stuff that I cannot explain. I was getting pictures of things that can't really be explained. Pretty sure I got a picture of one of those triangular TR3Bs. I mean, it's tiny in the picture, but if you zoom in, you can distinctively see the three red lights on it and the one in the center. Anyways, um, so I'm having all these experiences, I'm trying to document it. That's when I learned that whatever this force is, it doesn't like cameras. It doesn't want to be recorded. It's all about the relationship, from what I started to uncover. Anyways, the whole month of May, I'm seeing stuff, there, like I'm seeing orbs in my backyard, like, right in my backyard. And as soon as I look at them, they would take off, you know. And then I'm on Reddit, I'm, trying to share my experience and just talk to people. And a user on Reddit direct messaged me, and he believed me. He seen some of the videos and he was listening to what I was describing, and he told me to leave the camera and the laser in the house and to go outside and try again. I'm like, sure, I'll give it a shot. This is May 13th. I go out there, no camera, no phone, no laser. And I'm looking up, and I shit you not, I am seeing not one, not two, not three, but like a fleet of these objects in the sky. They're turning on and off. Like, and it's like the light that I'm trying to describe. It wasn't like the normal, really bright, like white phosphorus type light, you know, like a shooting star type of light. It was like a dim fluorescent light, like a light bulb. And they would just turn on, turn off. And then over here, it would turn on, turn off. Wouldn't move. They would just turn on, turn off, like a light was being switched on in the sky. Crazy. Anyways, so I'm seeing they're zipping by, they're turning on and off, they're doing a bunch of different amazing stuff, and I'm here witnessing it. And 15 minutes after this all started, a military fighter jet shows up. These things just disappear, and this jet is doing a circle over my town. I live in a small town, no more than 30,000 people. It's probably less, a lot more less than that. It's on the Oregon coast, and this jet is just doing circles over my town for like 10 minutes. And it was looking for whatever these things were. That's when I got scared. I went inside and I was like, okay, enough of that, because I felt like I was about to cause an incident, having fun with these entities, these crafts, whatever they are. And following day, I go to a friend's house. She said she was seeing things, and she was a customer at my work. I work at a liquor store, and I don't know how the conversation got brought up, but we started talking about it, and she invited me to come over to check out her telescope. She had pictures of these different objects that she was taking with her telescope. And so I go over there. I bring my infrared camera, and now I that month of May, I was paying really close attention to Venus. Every night, it was just the brightest thing in the sky. It was beautiful, and I would just pay attention to that. Well, I'm over at her house, and we're looking at Venus. And I shit you not, we both saw this. I'm positive we were pretty sure it was Venus. I mean, it was the same freaking star that I've been looking at, or planet I've been looking at every day for that whole month, basically. And what we saw was Venus decided just up and moved. It just moved, like, I'd say from our view, like 40, 50 degrees off to the right. We're looking west at Venus, and it moves to the north. It starts going northbound, and then it just disappears. And when that happened, I felt like my perceptions were being messed with. I don't, did we actually see that? Was that actually there? Did that actually move? I don't know. These are some of the questions that I'm still trying to figure out. But during this, I noticed that people around us started getting agitated. The neighbors were fighting. Dogs are barking. And also, that whole month, I noticed like clockwork at 9:30 p.m. I would hear sirens, like police sirens and ambulances flying down the road every single night. Around the same time, I'm seeing stuff in the sky. And so I don't know if you've ever looked into the guy named Steve Mera, but he talks about how the UFO phenomenon, aliens, the paranormal, cryptids, supernatural ghosts, spirits, how it's all essentially in the same realm. It's all connected. And sometimes when people encounter these beings, these cryptids, these UFOs, their fight or flight kicks in. Bigfoot, your hair raises up on the back of your neck. Well, it seemed I felt that for a brief moment when this Venus or whatever it was moved. Like I felt it, and I noticed everyone around me was agitated. Anyways, this is May 2023. So again, this is 3.5 years after my first sighting and experience. All right. So we seen that same night. We were lucky enough to see the Starlink train as it was going by, and I got it on camera. But while I was recording that, I shit you not, I have the video on my channel. You see three objects. One, two, three. They all come from opposite, like different directions. They all come and they rotate around each other, and then they go off in different directions. I don't think that's how satellites work. I think it was, a couple of crafts. Like I think they were following the satellite train. Like, and I that's another thing I noticed is a lot of these objects they will tail airplanes, helicopters, other satellites. It's like they're checking them out or something. Anyways, I got the video. It's cool and all, but anyways, so I'm starting to like really experience things. I start hearing stuff. Um, one night, I'm not sure which night it was. I don't know the exact date. I'm outside, I'm seeing stuff. I started hearing clicking noises in my ear. And that moment, an image in my head, all I could imagine was a mantis, like a praying mantis alien. That freaked me out. Okay. Freaked me out because I've heard the stories, I've seen the documentaries, people talk about them. These things are freaking huge. They're like 8 to 10 feet tall or whatever. And from what I know about praying mantises, they cut off the heads of the males and then eat them. So that just freaks me the fuck out. All right. But yeah, you hear all these reports that supposedly they're like the most loving of all the like ET entities out there. Supposedly. Anyways, so I hear this clicking noise and I'm starting to like get freaked out. Like, and I start feeling the dread, the fear, the fight or flight. Start panicking. So I go inside and I'm freaking out. My buddy's in my computer room playing Escape from Tarkov. It's a video game on PC. And he could tell I was freaking out. I was frantic. He was like asking me what was wrong. And I kind of told him what happened, like what I was hearing and shit. We start hearing more noises out in the back. Now, granted, it could have been an animal, but he's hearing it too, and the timing was just really weird. Anyways, I try to calm down. I decided to play my video game. I like to play PUBG. So I'm playing my game. I'm trying to focus on the game, trying to take my mind off all this. And in the middle of the game, I literally just stopped, got up, and started walking away towards the back door. I have no idea why. I mean, I remember doing it, but I don't know why. I don't know what came over me. It was like I was being controlled or I was on autopilot. I don't know. But luckily my friend was there and he stopped me. He was like, "What whoa, what are you doing, dude?" And like I didn't even hear him. I just kept walking. He had to like run up and physically stop me. And I kind of snapped out of it. So I'm starting to freak out. I'm like, what's going on with me? Like, I'm like I'm losing my mind. So I go in my room. I decide to lay down and just chill, try to relax. That same night, I'm laying down, I have my eyes closed, and then I see a blue, like a lightsaber blue orb of light enter my third eye, my mind's eye. Like I'm closed, my eyes are closed, and all of a sudden I see this flash. Like my eyes are closed, and I see this flash in like under my eyelids. Super bright. Don't know what it was. But that moment, I started freaking out again. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Anyways, I was in a psychosis for about 3 days. The day after this happened, I'm supposed to go to work. I'm a good employee. I go to work every day. I'm supposed to be there. I'm never late. Fucking, I work from like 3 to 9 p.m. My boss calls me. All right. It's like going on 4:30. He's like, "Jeremy, what's up, dude?" I'm like, "What do you mean? What's up? What's up?" And he's like, "You're supposed to be at work. Don't you remember?" And I totally spaced it. Very unlike me to forget like going to work. Anyways, he gave me the day off. I told him what was going on. My boss is like the coolest guy in the world. Very relatable. He has his own theories on Bigfoot, and he knows that the shit out there's something going on, and smart guy. Anyways, he's like, "You know what, Jeremy? I can tell you're pretty frazzled. I can hear it in your voice. You take the day off, man." I stay home, and for that day and the next day or two, I am paranoid. I think people are watching me. I think people are trying to break in my house. I think cars are driving by, like staring at my house. Like I'm thinking the government is like, like tapping my phones or they're gonna kill me or something because all I could think about was the the fighter jet. I don't know type exactly, what kind of fighter jet it was, but I know it was a fighter jet because you could see the the afterburners like kicking on, like you could see, the little the fire coming out of the back of the jet. I know it was a fighter. I'm freaking out. I read a letter like, hey, if something happens to me, like just in case, like I get kidnapped. I was fucking losing my mind, dude. I was freaking out. Anyways, it finally dissipates. I get back to normal, and I'm still doing the meditation. I'm still intrigued by the whole thing. You think after an experience like that, you think I would walk away, but I know it was real, and I couldn't walk away. It was just too real, and I wanted to know more. I wanted to know the answers. So, what happened next? Okay, yeah. So I continue, documenting like, what I'm seeing. I'm trying to record stuff, and anyways, I had a few sightings, as time goes on. Like, I would shine a laser in the sky, have my camera pointed there, and something would fly by. People would say, "Oh, that was just a bug," or "That was a shooting star," and it's like, no, no, it's not. Like, it's literally happening seconds after I point my camera there, shine a laser, and then something fucking flies by. All right, the odds of that happening, of it just being some other natural thing, it was happening too frequently. So I know something is engaging with me. Something is like, responding to what I'm doing. So I'm still amazed by all this. Anyways, it's summer, and my little brother, my baby brother, my youngest brother, big kid. He's fucking 6'6". I'm small. I'm only 5'8", but I'm the oldest. Anyways, he's he's lived in Oregon his whole life. He hunts. He knows how to gut shit. He's a woodsman and outdoorsman, like not the type of person you want to fuck with. You know what I mean? Anyways, like he always kind of was interested in the whole UFO thing. I told him what was going on, and he was worried about me. He thought his big brother was losing his mind. All right? He thought I was losing my mind, and he was getting worried. And I'm like, "You know what? We should go on a camping trip. Me, my mom, my dog, my brother, his girlfriend, you know." So we go to a place that we've been going to for like over 20 years. I haven't been there in like, at this time, I hadn't been there in like at least 15 years since I was a teenager. So we go there. Okay, let me back up. So when we start planning this trip, that we planned it a month in advance. And I'm telling him about this. He thinks I'm going crazy, right? So I tell him, you know what, dude? I'm going to prove it to you that something is going on. I'm seeing stuff, and you're going to see it too. I predicted that he would see something on our camping trip on that night that we got there. I'm like, you will see something. I promise you. I don't know how I knew. It was just a feeling, a sixth sense. It's like they were telling, I can't explain it. I just knew. So we go to our camping spot, and we decide, me and him, to take a drive up some logging roads in the area near our campsite. And he's like into Bigfoot and stuff. Like he's pretty sure that exists, but he wasn't sure about the whole alien thing. Anyways, we're driving around. We have the windows down, and we're trying to like listen for dead silence. We were so when because people say like when there's like a Bigfoot or a predator around, uh, the crickets go dead quiet, the birds stop squawking, everything goes dead quiet. Well, we found a spot that was dead quiet. We were only there for a couple minutes, but we started like feeling like, yo, something's up, you know. Like we're like, you know what, fuck this, let's get out of here. So we start driving about minute, 2 minutes after we left the spot. We're driving. I'm in the passenger seat. He's driving. It's his car. I shit you not, an orb of light, and it was like one of these dim fluorescent lights that I was saying. It was like a dim fluorescent light, and it manifested like less than a foot outside of my passenger window on my side. I'm like, holy shit. And my brother's like, whoa, 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 wait, you saw that? And I'm like, I didn't want to say what it was. I'm like, wait a minute, wait, you saw that too? And he's like, yeah. What the fuck was that? I'm like, dude, that was an orb. What did I tell you, bro? Told you to see something. That's not all. So we're like freaking out. He's like, that was so cool, dude. I can't believe I just saw that. I'm like, I told you. So we keep going. We have the windows down and we're cruising. He's leaning out the side of his like driver's side. I'm leaning out my side. And we're like kind of looking up, you know, just looking at the sky. Next thing that happens, uh, I don't know why, but it seemed like it was a football shape object, very bright. Wasn't a fluorescent type like bright, but it was like a shooting star bright. But this thing zipped directly above us, no more than 70 feet above our car, and it left a trail, and it curved too. It like it like, let's say we're facing north, it's heading south, and it literally came down over our car and then curved up. Like, so yeah, it arched upward. Cool as shit. My brother's like, holy shit, dude, we saw something again. Like, he couldn't believe it. And I'm like, dude, I fucking told you this shit was real, and this shit's been happening to me. I'm not crazy. And so yeah, we're seeing that. So we go to another spot. Like, we're busting out my infrared camera. You know, we're just chilling on. We're on a bridge, and it's like a one lane bridge. So only one way in and out. Like if another car came, we'd have to move for it to get by. We're chilling, and we're probably about 300-400 feet from our campsite. Like all we had to do was go down the bridge, hang a left, and go down this windy little road for a couple hundred feet, and there's our campsite. So we're just chilling on this bridge. You know, we're having a cigarette, we're smoking a little pot, you know, just kind of talking about what happened that night. And we know we're still like super energetic and excited about it. Sure as shit, we're like kind of scanning the area, and all of a sudden, another orb pops up outside of our peripherals, and I see it. And as soon as I look at it, it took off, and it was like right above the treetop, and these are like good 50 to 80 foot trees. And he didn't see that one at first. And then another one happened, but it was over to the left. And they were literally right above the treetops. And as soon as we would look at them, they would either shoot off sideways, the other way, or straight up, or down to the ground. And we've seen this happen like 4 or 5 times. And the last one, it shot down to the ground. And this orb, where it was located, was literally it was at our campsite. My mom's there, she's chilling, you know, she's sleeping. She goes to bed early. She's older. And we're like, "Holy shit, dude." Like we see this orb, and as soon as we look at it, it just darts straight to the ground. And we're like we started realizing, "Hey, that's where our campsite's at." So we fucking got in the car, we fucking hauled ass, we went down to the campsite and make sure everything was fine. Everything was fine. And anyways, we're telling my mom and his girlfriend, like, you know what we just saw. So we seen the orb manifest outside of the car. We seen the football shaped object zip over us. And then we seen at least 4 or 5 orbs manifest above the treetops and then dart off in different directions. This all happened in the course of like an hour, hour and a half max. And so my brother's like, dude, I'm so glad we went on this trip. Like, he couldn't believe it. Like, to this day, he's still like, every time he comes to visits, he's like, dude, I can't believe that shit happened. So I'm like, I'm happy I'm sharing this experience with my brother, and I think that's why they revealed themselves like they did what they did because they knew it was my family, it was special, like we were bonding and having this moment. I haven't been camping with my little brother at that point since he was a little kid. He's a grown man now. Last time we went camping, he was probably like 5 or 6. He's like at this time he's like 21 at this point. So it'd been a long time since we've been camping, and it was just a really special moment. And they knew it. Whatever these things are, they knew it was special, and they were like, you know what? You told your brother you were gonna see it. He was gonna see something. We'll hold up your promise. Sure as shit, they did it. So, anyways, we come home. Camping trip was great. We had a blast. Um, and then let's see. I'm still doing my thing, but I'm working. I'm not putting as much time into it. Like I basically got to the point where I was satisfied. I was like, that was cool. I'm just gonna savor the moment. I'm not gonna push it. I'm not gonna keep looking for answers. There's plenty of time in my life to figure this shit out. Anyways, so a few months go by. And then but I'm still, kind of meditating, but not nearly as much as I was. I'm doing it maybe like once or twice a month. I'm meditating. I'm not seeing stuff as much either. This the season had changed, so we're getting a lot more clouds in the sky, so you can't really see the stars or nothing. So you're not really gonna see anything that, stands out. So it was winter time. I'm like, whatever, gotta wait till summer for the weather to clear up. Anyways, I'm going through some personal stuff, a few months later, and I I'm meditating, I'm in bed, and I'm on the verge of falling asleep. I had the most intense DMT acid like trip that I've ever experienced in my life. Like I've done acid, I've done DMT. I've done lots of drugs throughout my life, like recreationally. What I experienced through meditation was the most intense trip I'd ever had. Okay. I'm not going to go into all the details of what happened on my little journey, but I'll say this. I Towards the end of the trip, an entity got in my face, and all I could see was like a silhouette, like the outline of his head. And from the best I can describe is it kind of looked like a gray, but it wasn't like a little gray. It was like a big gray. Like my eyes are closed. I'm fucking, high as fuck, tripping on whatever, on pure, like, you know, natural body chemicals. I don't know. Anyways, during this trip, I felt like there was a test that I was going through and I failed. And because I was gonna do something during this thing and it didn't. It was like, no, don't do that. It got in my face. Anyways, I woke up. I'm breathing hard. I'm sweating profusely, and I'm like, that was crazy. I want to do that again. I started researching like meditation stuff. I didn't know that you could have a trip from meditating. I had no clue that was possible. Um, Anyways, I found out that it is possible, and I haven't had that happen since. But after that, I took a break uh for a while. Like all this was 2023, like winter of 2023. I just started getting back into the whole UFO, you know, subject and meditation and all that ever since these drone sightings in New Jersey picked up. Um, I make videos on YouTube time to time, and I'll, do reaction videos and go over like the most recent like third phase of moon videos and kind of explain and, comment on like what's being recorded and presented in the video. Anyway, so I, these drones going on over New Jersey, drones. Yes, there are drones, but there are also orbs being seen. Now, one of the messages that I can't help but I have to tell people, like, it wasn't physically spoken to me, but the message that I feel like I have a job to do, and that is to spread awareness, to let people know that these things are real, they are here, and basically my job is to keep people from losing their mind. Because now I always believed in the UFO phenomenon, but after having it like an experience, I still lost my fucking shit, dude. I was tripping. When you actually realize that all this shit is real, you know, it still fucking it still gets you. And when these things start showing up and, you know, people that don't believe in it, when they start seeing these things, they're really gonna lose their fucking mind. You have people like talking about shooting at them and stuff. Don't do that. Bad idea. They're not here to hurt us. So the message is they are here to prevent us from destroying our planet, mostly from nuclear war, I believe. They showed up literally days after talks of nuclear weapons being used as an option. Like our government's talking about it, Putin's talking about it, and they show up 2 days later. So I'm pretty sure that's why they're here. The government's lying to us. They're not telling us shit. Yes, there are conventional drones being seen. Yes, there's probably advanced technology being used by our government or some private organization that's being seen. But there's also ETs. And basically, everything that people are seeing, it's all for confusion. Like the ETs are here, and the government has to respond some way. So they're sending out their drones and their advanced, craft. And so when people say, "Hey, I saw a UFO or a UAP," whatever, they're like, "Calm down, citizen. It's just a drone." That's their that's the narrative they're trying to push. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to tell us what's going on. Well, I'm here to tell you what's going on. This is just the beginning. These little orbs people are seeing, it's just the beginning. 'Cause they're seeing some people are seeing some big craft. I don't know if that's ours or them, but there's some big fucking craft being recorded. Um, anyways, this is just the beginning. Bigger craft are gonna be showing up, and by the time the government tells us what's going on, it'll be common knowledge by then. Everyone will have had a sighting, even maybe an experience, and so it won't even matter when they tell us because it'll be like, well, thanks for the news. It's better late than never, I guess. So, anyways, that was my experience. Oh, I forgot to talk about this. One more experience I had. Sorry, had to do it. I was waking up one morning and I was on the just barely waking up, and I actually heard a voice in my ear. I had never heard a voice in my ear before. I've heard clicking noises. I've had thoughts like telepathically sent to me. But I never heard a voice. Well, I had a voice. It was about 7 in the morning. It was raining, pouring outside, cold, and it said one thing: go outside. And it sounded like Alvin the Chipmunk, but not just like a chipmunk. It sounded like a robotic or like metallic chipmunk. And that's all it said. I didn't go outside. I was just wasn't in the mood for it. I just woke up. It was cold. I was like, fuck that. Should I have went? Sure. Maybe I should have, but who knows? I don't know. But hearing that voice, that made me think of like some type of like AI or some shit. I don't know. It could have been a different entity, a different species. For all I know, I could be engaging with multiple species. It might not just be one. I don't know. I think that the fallen angel and demon and angel theory is, there's something to it. The Anunnaki, um, Sumerian, all that. I find all this stuff super interesting. Do I think there are demons and angels? Maybe that's, they saw aliens and that's what they interpreted them as the jinn, like in the Quran. I think it's all the same. Are there good ones? Absolutely. Are there bad ones? Absolutely. Can't have darkness without light. Yin and yang. So, yes, I'm sure there are bad ones here, but I'm sure there are good ones here. And I probably have had my share of experiences with all kinds, both good and bad. Anyways, this is the video I've been wanting to make for a while now. Just kind of a confessional, just documenting and just a telling of what I have seen, what I've experienced, and I know it took me a while. I've just been ranting and babbling, but hopefully you got something out of this. Hopefully, it answered some questions that maybe you have about your own experiences, or maybe you want to do a CE5. Maybe you want to try to have a contact with NHI. Well, I'm here to tell you that it does work. They are here, and it's absolutely possible. So that's my story. And now that these sightings are being seen in New Jersey and all over the world, I think it's time for me to get back to the mission, back to meditation, back to reaching out and discussing the topic with other experiencers. I'm on a Reddit right now. It's experience. This one right here, something is here. This is my personal subreddit that I created, and then I have another one which is Let's Talk Aliens, like the YouTube channel. The Let's Talk Aliens one is private, so like I have to approve users. This one is a public one, and anyone can join. Anyways, I joined this channel experience right here. Here we go. I've been on here the last couple days and I've met some really cool people that have had similar stuff. I actually made a post on this subreddit asking if anyone else uses binaural beats to uh communicate to have CE5 initiation contact. I got quite a few replies and people were like, "Yeah, dude, totally, it works." And everyone's asking me, what my experience was like, and and what binaural beats I'm using, and it's really cool. It's really cool to like meet people. I think we're gonna try doing some type of like group meditation from like, so I'll be here, they'll be wherever they're at, and we're gonna try to do like a meditation, like a CE5 meditation from different parts of the country. And who knows, maybe we'll see something. Maybe we'll be able, I don't know, remote view, who knows. I'm still kind of new to all this, and some of these people seem to know what they're talking about. And I know they're legit because just by some of the stuff they said, like it resonates with me. Um, just another synchronicity, meeting these people. Anyways, so that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna get back on the horse. I'm gonna start trying to record UFOs. I'm gonna try to make contact, and my primary goal, which it's probably never gonna happen, but my goal is to get a one-on-one, face-to-face interview with an alien or NHI, whatever. Probably never gonna happen because they don't like cameras. Forgot to add that. They know if I got a camera. Like they just know. Like they've turned my cameras off. They've drained my batteries. Um, I'll ask them stuff and they'll blink or flash in the sky like is like a to answer my questions. I'll be like, okay, well, can I record you with my camera? Then nothing happens. I'll be like, all right, well, screw that. I'm gonna record you anyways. So I pull out my camera. What do they do? They've been flying around this general area. What do they do when I pull the camera out? They fly by off out of frame. They know where I'm looking. Like it's like a joke. They have a sense of humor. So, anyways, sorry but for the long video. I hope this reaches as many people as possible. Please then give me a like, a subscribe if this is interesting to you in any way. Um, I'm not here to make money on YouTube. I'm just here to spread awareness about what's happening because people are starting to freak out. And that's my goal. I want a better world. I don't want war. I'm tired of all the bullshit, just the dark evil shit that's going on in this world. I'm tired of it. And we need direct intervention from whoever these guys are cuz I don't think as long as we mankind is running the show, we're going to destroy ourselves. It's painfully obvious. The world is crumbling. So hopefully they're here to help. Who knows. But thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed my story. This is Let's Talk Aliens. That's the name of my channel. My name's Jeremy. Um, so yeah, just please give me a like, subscribe, share, and feel free to join me on my Reddit and here on Experiencers subreddit. A lot of interesting, cool people on here. And with that said, I'm going to go ahead and end the video and see you guys next time.